Hey guys, welcome back to the FabuPRO online course. Today we will be showing you how to consult with a guest properly. This is very important to make sure that you know what the guest is looking for. Even though we are halfway through the course, this does not mean that you need to feel pressured. Make sure that you are constantly taking your time, and if you need to practice on the sponge, go ahead. Remember, you do not want to practice on a model unless you are certain that you are ready. If you have any questions regarding any of the videos that you guys have watched previously, make sure that you join the FabuPRO support group, and there we will be able to answer any questions that you have regarding the course. As always, be sure to subscribe, hit that notification button, and like. Communicating with your guests is extremely important. You want to sound as professional and polite as possible. Remember, your service starts from the moment that the guest decides to book an appointment. There are different ways that your guests can do so. They can call you, text you, message you via social media, and lots of other ways if you have a website, etc. Now, if you have lots of ways that you book the appointments for your guest, you want to make sure that you narrow them down to at least 2 ways of booking. Just because that helps just getting everything nice and organized, and it prevents overbooking, and you are able to get to your guests in a timely manner. If you are just starting out, I would suggest for you to use a free app like Facebook Messenger. This app allows you to receive messages and book your guest. With a first-time customer, you want to make sure that you make them feel as welcome as possible, even though it may be a phone call or a text message. They can't really see you, but they will be able to feel your vibe, and they will know if you are friendly or polite. It is very important for you to provide the guest as much information as they need. Based off of this information, they will decide if they want to book with you or book somewhere else. Let's say you answer the phone call like this. Hello? Yeah? Who's this? This will probably make your potential guest feel very uncomfortable and confused. That will show the amount of professionalism that you have. Even when you are using your personal phone number, you want to make sure that you take precaution and that you are always answering your phone professionally, even if it's an unknown number. Wouldn't you feel strange if you were calling somebody and they answered the phone that way? Me personally, I would hang up and would never call again. You want to make sure that every single time that you are answering the phone, even if it's to an unknown number, that you are reassuring the guest or the potential guest who they are speaking to and where they are calling. The way that I answer my phone calls is, "Thank you for calling FabuPRO. This is Suleika. How can I help you?" It is very important for you to listen to every single detail that your guest is talking to you about. Sometimes they may ask just to book an appointment directly. They may ask about the prices or about the process itself. Depending on this, you have to make sure that you guide them in the right direction. Once you have booked the appointment and the day has come, you want to make sure that you greet your guest and direct them in every single step that they have to complete, which would be signing the waiver. And washing the eye area. And then we move on to consulting the guest. Hi, how's it going today?
Yeah, everything's good. Thank you.
Is this your first visit here?
Yeah, this is my first visit. I was looking for a place to do my lashes, and I was looking on Google, and this one was the best with best reviews. It was with more stars. You know, I want something good, I want quality, and I saw your work and it's like so gorgeous. I was like, I want that in my
thank you. That's so sweet of you.
Thank you.
What are you looking to get today? Have you looked at any of our sets?
Yeah, I was looking at the ones that you have, but I actually want something, you know, dramatic, but I also want it natural. I'm actually not sure. This is my first time doing lashes.
So it's your first time ever?
Yes, it's my first time.
Nice. We are going to take good care of you, so don't worry.
Thank you.
At this point, she really doesn't know what she wants. So you kind of have to give them some options. Remember, it is always best for you to choose something that is a little bit less dramatic on their first visit. If they want a Russian volume, go ahead and do a hybrid. Just remember, it's always best to do something a little bit more natural rather than more dramatic, and maybe they will like it or love it. So what were the lengths? Like, did you want something long, short? Because you did say you wanted something natural, but you really can't do dramatic and natural at the same time.
Oh, okay. Well, I was looking for something more, you know, I don't want them too long. Maybe something like in the middle.
Okay.
Something that I could wear daily.
So you want something natural and a little bit fuller.
Yeah.
Okay. So we can definitely work with that. We do have a couple sets that you can take a look at. If you want something like full and natural, I would try the hybrid or soft glam. Those would be one of the two. In terms of length, I would go with one of our most popular lengths, which is going to be like a 13. So it's a little close to like a medium long size, which is, I think it's going to be pretty good for you.
Sure.
Alright, so at this point we are going to show you how to choose the correct curl, length, and design for your guest. And you can do this by taking pictures. And we have already talked about this, but we are going to go a little more in depth. I am going to be taking a couple pictures. Have you look directly into the camera. This is the part where we are going to determine what kind of shape this guest has. If their eyes are upward, downward, or just straight. And now, as you can see from her inner corner and outer corner, her eyes are going upwards. So they're slanted upwards. With her, we can use a cat eye, a doll eye, or even a fox eye. But in my opinion, I would just go ahead and open up her eyes a little bit more, because as you can tell, her eyes are very small and just slightly squinted. So I would definitely go ahead and do the doll eye because it will look very nice on her. Now you can go ahead and have your guest turn to the side. And this is where you determine the curl, and you can also determine the length as well. So we are going to take a picture from the side view. Alright, so we're just going to make sure she is right, looking straight ahead, chin down. And right here you can even see that her eye comes out more than her brow bone. So this is why we use this picture to determine, because we want to make sure that we can use a C or a D curl. At this point, I would not use a C curl. Her natural lashes come out a little more downwards, so I wouldn't want to drag her. I wouldn't want to drag her lashes down anymore. So I would go ahead and do a D curl, unless she wanted something more like extremely natural. Then you can go ahead and do a C curl. Now, in terms of the length, you don't want to do anything too long, because as you can see, she does not have that much room between her eyebrow and eye. So I would do something a little shorter. If I were to decide with a 13 or 14, I would go a little shorter, like 12 or 13, just to make sure that we are choosing the correct length for our guest. Alright, so here we have pure alcohol to sanitize our hands. And this is a little stronger, so you don't want to put it in your guest's face. Alright, and we are going to begin taping. Alright, so now that we have finished isolating the bottom lashes for our guest, we want to make sure that the lengths that we picked are correct. And I know that a lot of you have been asking, how do you know what is the correct length and curl for each guest? How do we know if we're picking the correct length or curl? I'm going to show you how I choose the correct length and curl, especially if you are a beginner. This is something that could really help you, and it's definitely better than just winging it. So just make sure it's okay to do this. If you're a beginner, if you are already advanced, it's okay. A lot of people have been suggesting that you can go ahead and choose the length based off the natural lashes and just kind of go 2 lengths longer than the natural lashes. In my opinion, this really doesn't work for me. Why? Because you do have guests that want something very short, or if they want something long. But going off based of the natural lashes, sometimes you have guests that have very long natural lashes and they don't curl up, so sometimes you really can't tell. In this way, you would pick something that's longer than what they actually want. So if they already have long lashes and they want something natural, you would pick 2 lengths longer than what their natural lashes look. This would look a little bit too dramatic for them. So just pick out something that is more towards what the guest wants, but it is also what you think is going to look best on the guest. It's totally fine for you to recommend something shorter or longer for your guest, depending on their shape of their eye or their frame, whatever you think is going to look best. Now, don't choose based off what you think the guest is going to like. You need to choose based off what is going to look the best on your guest. Just remember, you have to balance what your guest wants and your personal professional opinion. So if your guest wants something long but natural, you can definitely go ahead and do something that is a little bit shorter than long. And I know that this might seem like a lot because you really don't know what is long and what is short. It just depends on the guest, which is why we are going to be testing some curls and lengths for this guest, just to make sure that we are choosing the correct length and curl. So I am going to start with a C curl and then a D curl on this other eye. I usually don't use that technique just because I am pretty good with deciding, but this is always a choice for anyone. If you're a beginner or advanced, this is always good because you want to avoid making mistakes on a guest who is paying for the service. So we're going to try a 13 and a 14. With the C curl, I'm going to do the 13 because remember, C curl goes out more instead of curls up. So it is going to be a little bit longer than what the 14 actually looks like if it's curled up. So just keep that in mind. So we're going to do C curl on this side and D curl on this side, and we are going to do whatever length you think is best. And then we're going to kind of balance and see what the guest likes and what is going to look best on her. Alright, scoot back towards me please, better. So when you are testing a extension on a guest, make sure that you pick a natural lash that is pretty long. That way, if this does not work for the guest, you can always remove it and put a different extension. If I were to use this short extension, it is going to be very difficult to remove the extension because it's going to be fully attached. So just remember, pick a longer natural lash and don't fully attach it. So that way you have this peeking out and you can always remove it after. I'm going to put another one just so that we can get a good feel of what the extension is going to look on her. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell button so that you guys are notified whenever we post another video.